At the breakfast table, Wine's POV. Eating my breakfast, or more like avoiding eye contact with this shameless man who is continuously gawking at me. I sneakily tried to side glance at him only to find his gaze fixed on my face. I coughed hard, but no change occurred in his expression. He just grabbed a glass of water and extended it towards me without breaking eye contact. I held the glass, making sure that my hand did not come in contact with his. I frowned when he still didn't budge. What? Fiercely asked. What? Casually asked back. Why are you looking at me? Done face. My eyes, my wife, my will. Do you have any problem? Or perhaps my gaze is making you nervous. Smirks. You wanna fight, Jeon? Getting annoyed by every passing second. I love it when you call me Jeon. It feels as if you are labeling me as yours. Gazed at her like an addict looked at his, as if I would ever, mockingly chuckled. JK sat straight on his seat, his menacing eyes fixed on her. You will, forever. Said as if this is the only way. You really wanted to ruin my breakfast, right? Congrats, you have succeeded. Pushed her plate aside and stood up. He just wanted a reaction out of your Wine. Look at his cute smirk. Wine just kept glaring at JK and he just laughed in response as he again heard Kora. You love to glare at me, so I'll consider this as your love language. Teased her more. You accidentally said in front of maids and everyone immediately looked down in fear, thinking JK would not leave her now. Go ahead, do it. I'm all yours. Stood up and faced her while smirking. Vine just shook her head while giving him a disgusting look and stormed away from him. Everyone in the room was shocked by JK's unhinged behavior. After a while, I was already so embarrassed due to last night's shameless activities and the morning incident, and he added more to it. Will he ever stop embarrassing me? Vine was sitting on the bed, fuming in anger when JK entered the room. She clenched her jaws and closed her eyes in frustration, being done with him. Again, looked up at him and asked him while biting her cheeks to control her anger. I don't have to be to come to. But that's beside the point. Put the tray beside her on the bed. For now, eat this. I'm not hungry. I've had enough. Rolled her eyes and looked to the other side. JK chuckled, finding Vine's tantrum cute. Eat this, otherwise I am not going out of the room. Sat next to her on the bed. Why are you here? Don't you have any work? You're an alpha for God's sake. Faced him and spoke frustratingly. I've got my priorities straight. Sincerely spoke. Vine went speechless for a moment and kept staring at him, wondering if he truly meant what he said. Is she truly his first priority? Don't put too much pressure on your little brain and finish your breakfast quickly. Smiled softly and spoke as if he is instructing a kid. I won't, stubbornly stated and looked to the front. You won't? Raises his brow. Yes, I won't. Adamant on her decision. I'm asking you one last time, Dove. Eat. I said I won't. Her words were cut in the middle when he grabbed her jaw and turned her face to face him. She felt something soft on her lips and her eyes widened upon the realization. She was going to push him away, but she felt something in her mouth. Grape? He pushed a grape in her mouth using his. He backed away and she looked at him, sitting frozen in her place. Need my help in chewing as well? raised his eyebrow in a challenging manner. She chewed the grape while blinking her eyes rapidly. She gathered herself and spoke. Can't keep yourself in control? Yelled a little loudly, trying to hide her blush and seem irritated. Who could control themselves when they have such a beautiful wife? Unbothered King. Don't pretend like you're head over heels for me. Strictly stated as if wrestlers were doing things to her heart which she did not want to admit. Who said I'm pretending? Became serious. Wan just stared at him, trying to find a hint of deception or insincerity in his expressions, but failed badly. I'm not going to run away from my feelings anymore. I can't pretend to hate you anymore. I love you. Ian howled enthusiastically as finally Jake stopped lying to himself and everyone else. We are nothing but enemies. No, you are my love, my mate and my wife, and I don't know anything else. Maintained intense eye contact with him. You forced me to be with you. Broke eye contact as her eyes welled up with tears as she recalled the events of the past. If I hadn't forced you, would you have loved me back? Broken voice. Vine remained silent as she looked down. J.K. just nodded his head, taking her silence as her answer, and stood up from the bed. Vine did not look up, but as he looked over his shoulder and spoke, she looked at him. Your lack of feelings for me does not change my love for you. Eat your breakfast. We have a long way to go. Turned again and stepped out of the room. Vine, he's sincere. He's my enemy. Your family, his mother. Yet he still loves you. It's just his way of taking revenge. As this is what I'm here for his revenge on backpack. It's not for revenge, Vine. I can sense it. Can't fall for him. You have already did. You're just too stubborn to admit. Vine just shook her head and chanted, I won't fall for him. Never. Whispered blankly since her words did not reflect her emotions. Few days later, Jungkook's POV. Pouring all my love and desire in making her portrait with me on a canvas. I continued to try to paint her ethereal features with perfection just as she is. In this painting, I made her smile while being in my arms. But alas, the reality is way different and bitter. I desperately want this picture to become a reality for me. A single tear escaped my eye, but I wiped it away and continued my work. Just be polite with her and show her how much you love and respect her. One day she will love you back for sure. It does not hurt me much knowing that she does not love me. What hurts me the most is that she does not believe in my love for her. Gulped painfully while painting her with love. Went silent for a moment. Does Kora feel the same for me? Sad too. I don't think so. Remembered Kora's cute tussle with Wine and chuckled. Then it's automatic that Wine does not hate you as well. I know she does not hate me. She just does not feel anything for me. Bit his lower lip to control the tremor of pain in his heart. I'll talk to Kora. In your dreams? Confused. Just take me to Wine and watch me do the magic, confidently spoke. At first Jungkook did not believe Ian and turned down his offers, but after so much coaxing, he agreed to go to Wine. Wine's POV. He is messing up with my mind. After I rejected him, he did not come in front of me. I don't know where he is. Is he alright? Ugh! Why is he roaming in my mind continuously? I want to get rid of him. but I can't even sleep properly as I'm constantly thinking about him. I closed my eyes to relax my overwhelming emotions and racing thoughts, but opened them again when the door creaked open. I stared at him as he walked in while looking down like a bride. My mood went light after seeing him. Why is this happening to me? He shut the door and leaned his back against it, closed his eyes to take a moment before looking at her. That great of an influence wine had on him. Wine got out of the bed and headed towards him. He stayed glued on his place while looking down. She stood an inch away from him, crossed her hands across her chest, and poked her cheek with her tongue, attempting to look pissed. He raised his eyes and held an intense eye contact with her. Trying to pull another stunt? Whisper asked. He nodded his head positively, causing wine to foam. Ian wants to talk to Kora, softly requested. Huh? Eyes went wide as she was taken aback. No. He's not like me. He'll be good to her. Let him talk once, pleaded her. Ironic. Jeon Jungkook, the great alpha, is pleading a low-life big girl like me? Sarcastically mocked him. But for your kind information, I don't believe you're a wolf either. He's no different than you. Wasn't he the one who wounded me in the past? Fiercely spat bitter words. He held her hand tenderly, but this time she did not yank him away. She was feeling calm due to his talk. She confusingly looked at his hand. I'm sorry for the past, but I know a sorry can never be enough. I'm willing to do anything for you. Leave me then, said in a strict tone, but felt hurt about hearing her. Jungkook's eyes turned red and then flickered golden. Ian took him. Wine tried to jerk his hand away but couldn't as his claws extended, but it did not hurt her wrist. Suddenly she felt a sharp pain in her chest and struggled to breathe properly. He had no idea what was going on with her when Kora began to howl loudly, forcing Wine to close her eyes tightly to get rid of the noise. She slowly felt Kora taking over, and within no time, Wine transformed into Kora while Zeki turned into Jeon. Now there were two majestic wolves staring at each other with wide eyes. Ian was in shock due to her beauty, and Kora was just trying to process what had happened. Kora was stunned when she heard a male voice in her head. Yes, Ian was talking to her. I felt shocked. How did I transform? In disbelief. The magic of love or mate call? Kora felt lost in it, but she shook her head to clear her mind because wine would not work. You are so beautiful, softly complimented. Really? Felt flustered but quickly covered it up and said, I know. Anything else? Kora tried to act cold, but Ian found it horrible. Let's go. Where? Cleared her throat to control her excitement. I mean, I'm not going anywhere with you. You won't regret it, Kora. Talk like a friend. I won't do any harm to you, I promise. Sincerely requested. How am I supposed to believe you? You had hurt us in the past. Turned her face to the side with hurt expression while remembering the past. I was so insane back then, but I changed for you. I'm really sorry. I would rather die before ever thinking of hurting you again. Kora noticed the honesty in his eyes and made up her mind. Where would you take me? Inquired suspiciously. In the mountains and forest? We will play together, and I know you did not come once. Let us relive our childhood. Make up for the lost time and create new memories together. Best friends. spoke so softly that it warmed Kora's heart and Wine's as well. Kora just looked at him with admiration and excitement. I'm disobeying my human. Please don't make me regret. You will never regret giving me a chance. That's an alpha's promise to his woman. Ian and Kora spent the entire night playing in the forest, running around like free spirits, play fight like kids, and every time Ian surrendered himself in front of Kora, they never enjoyed that much in their whole life. It felt like the missing puzzle piece had finally been discovered. They even cuddled beside the river while watching the moon. When the sun rose, they returned to the palace and went to their separate rooms to transform back to their human form. They prepared themselves as now they had to answer some serious questions. What was that? Wine asked Kora as soon as she transformed back. Sorry, whispered like a scared kid who got caught stealing a candy. No, you're not. You were quite aware of what you were doing. It raged. Wine, he's good. On the verge of tears. He's pretending. No, he's not. Please try to understand. Sighed and rubbed her temples. I know Ian is treating you right. But what about me, Kora? I can't be with Jungkook. And I'm also not ready for this relationship. Then I'll ask Ian to be my friend only. He will understand, innocently requested. Wine just kept silent as she knew that her feelings are also changing like Kora's. On the other hand, Jungkook and Ian celebrated their first step toward betrayal. Few days later, Wine tried to ignore her rapidly growing feelings and Jungkook. But Jungkook's affection never failed to make her heart skip a beat. Ian would always make Kora to come out and spend time with her. Now Wine was feeling like a villain in this love story. She considered opening up to Jungkook and talk with him politely. At night, why do I feel like I'm not the main character but a villain in my own story? You are the main character, Wyan. Main villain. Cracked a joke and laughed like a crackhead. Rolled her eyes but soon burst out laughing. Well, you were right. He seems loyal and he has changed. Does it mean you're going to give him a chance? Excitedly asked. But I'm going to take things slowly. You know, I'm still not ready. I'm so nervous. Mumbled by pouting. Yeah, cheered happily. Midnight. Wine woke up in sweat. She was feeling like someone is burning her skin. She cried as she felt agonizing pain in her stomach and lower region. Kora loudly howled in pain continuously. Wine held her stomach and turned to the side. She pressed her face against the pillow and screamed loudly. And the room door burst open. What happened? Worried. Wine just kept crying while lying in the same position as before. Jungkook hurriedly rushed towards her and held her arm only to be shot. You are burning in fever. Tried to turn her over, but her screams intensified, and she did not burst from her place. Jungkook looked around confused and was about to call the doctor. Don't call the doctor. She needs your help. Yes, that's why I'm calling the doctor. Was about to go towards the door but stopped as he heard Ian's next word. Only you can help her, not the doctor. How? Heat. She's in heat.